I tell you, I know there's a lot of A&M fans that are nervous as hell for this one. Mm-hmm. And I get why. Because Auburn just does weird things, even in bad years. And Texas A&M, you lose another one, you're out of the running pretty much. You've got to somehow get in the SEC championship game and win it, because that would be your third loss. And I know there's voodoo that happens at Jordan-Hare and all the witchcraft and wizardry. And I know Peyton Thorne, shoved the short fat kid in the locker this weekend against ULM and looked great. But I'm going to tell you, I don't think you should be that worried. Not because the game won't be tight. Auburn will keep it close. They may even be leading it. But I think A&M has got more alpha dog in them when it comes down to winning, because I don't trust Peyton Thorne. You've seen what has happened in the big games. Go look at Oklahoma. Played great for 3/4 of the game. Then the last half on the back end threw it right to him. And he's not the only problem that Auburn has. I'm not saying that. But when you're the quarterback, you're going to take the lion's share of the credit and the lion's share of the blame. And as crazy as this sounds, I trust a freshman in Marcel Reed on the road in Jordan-Hare over an older guy in Peyton Thorne in Auburn. Now, I'm not saying you couldn't lose, because Auburn could sneak around and find a way to win it. We all know that. And I know Texas A&M fans are nervous as hell, like I said. But when I look at the matchups, Auburn's defense is playing really, really well. Right? But I think Marcel Reed can open some things up. And even if Auburn starts off well on offense early, guys, I just got no reason to trust Peyton Thorne in a game where he's playing against adults. I just don't.
Look, I was surprised, Blaine, to see the line at -2.5. I think Texas A&M is more than a field goal better than Auburn, but clearly the line is indicative of Texas A&M going with a freshman quarterback on the road, and that South Carolina game, I think, is sticking in Vegas's mind. Mm-hmm. You go and lose by 44-20 on the road at South Carolina.
Yeah, I'll tell you this right now. I mean, no matter what Auburn puts on the field, that stadium's going to be hell. That stadium is going to be.
That's the most consistent thing Auburn's got.
Swag surfing started, and buddy, that thing, it's different on night in Jordan-Hare. I promise you that. Look, at the end of the day, look at this Auburn team. I'm just going to do whatever I can to keep it out of Peyton Thorne's hands. I am. I'm going to play a game, but how many times can I give it to Jarquez Hunter? And that's going to be another thing. You have to be able to win up front. And Texas A&M is walking in with a front seven that will maul you. And we go back to it. Peyton Thorne's going to have to make a couple plays in this game. He is. And I think the crowd's going to be huge. You give the Jarquez. Cam Coleman had 13 touchdowns last week against whoever. He's going to have to get the best players the ball in the biggest moments. You flip to the other side, A&M, you just can't beat yourselves. Yeah. Okay? You're walking in with a young quarterback into a hostile environment. Turnovers will kill you in this game, okay? They really will. If you're A&M, you need to start. Something needs to go well early, because if you can take the crowd out of it early, now it'll be a little bit of smooth sailing in the back end. You just got to get to Peyton Thorne, too. You get to Peyton Thorne, you put it on his shoulders, he will fall apart like he's done the entire year. But, there's a reason the line is like this, okay? It's a scary game, and Auburn wins this game, they become what?
One win away from bowl eligible.
Yeah, they're closer walking to being bowl eligible. So
Which, I mean, 6 and 6, I'd rather stay.
Yeah, I know.
You guys like the under at 47.5?
I do, because here's why. If you're Mike Elko going into this game, there's two things I'm looking at. One is, like Blaine mentioned, you got to start Jarquez Hunter. Now, the question becomes, does A&M have to do different things outside of base stuff and keeping their normal numbers to stop Jarquez Hunter? I think they're going to try that early. They're going to go out there, they're going to run their normal front. They're not going to do a lot of stunning, a lot of twisting. They're going to see if they can just line up and straight beat Auburn, kind of like Ohio State's going to try and do to Indiana running the ball. It's going to be the reverse of that. Texas A&M is going to try and get away with keeping an even box and stopping the run. If that doesn't work, then they'll funnel resources and they'll start to heat Peyton Thorne up. But there's one element of this game that A&M has a huge advantage in, and it's special teams. Auburn's special teams are awful. They're awful in every sense of the word. Absolute garbage, flaming hot garbage. They have got to get rid of that guy at the end of the year. I don't care if he's a GA, an SA, a TA, or a Pi Theta Mu, whatever. He needs to be fired. You need to get a real special teams coach in there.
I heard they're looking for anybody with special teams experience.
I'm busy. Anyways, so if I'm A&M, I'm not worried. Auburn's not going to return anything in the return game. They're not going to hurt you there. They're going to fair catch kicks because they're not good enough. They hold more than a Swiss bank account whenever they get in returns. But when you're returning against Auburn, I think you can have some success, especially on punt return. So if I'm Mike Elko, when I look at how bad Auburn's field goal kicking is, how solid you have been in those units, I think not only, and it's not just about returning it for touchdowns, it's field position. I think A&M, one way to kind of cheat the code is to get great field position early in this game to take some of that pressure off Marcel Reed, where maybe if even you don't score a touchdown, you get a field goal and you're getting points and you're putting pressure on Peyton Thorne and that Auburn offense to have to continue to score against an A&M defense is pretty good.
How much do you run Peyton in this game?
As much as I have to.
Yeah.
As much as I have to. Like, what do you got? Oh, wait,
Georgia
Wayne
game
in the
last
league.
year.
Yeah, literally,
Yeah.
that's what I was thinking. If there's ever a comp, it has to be the Georgia game last year. And that game was somewhat low scoring.
Well, you look at Auburn's defense. The defense is going to have to win this game for Auburn. They're going to have to win it. I'm just telling you right now.
Texas A&M just can't lose it.
They just can't lose it. Texas
and it's
goes
gonna
in
be
and
But
really
you can with a freshman quarterback.
That's what I'm
on the
saying.
road,
Like, it's going to be a
man.
lot easier to lose it walking with a young quarterback who's trying to do too much and walking in Jordan Hare in a night game, man. It's just tough.
Guys, we're getting close to the college football playoff, YouTube. If you're not subscribed yet, you need to wake up and start making some real decisions in your life that can help you move forward. And by hitting that subscribe button, that's a great step towards excellence.